After Easter, I flew from Boston to a conference center in a little corner of the Blue Ridge Mountains. They're called that, the Blue Ridge Mountains, because the trees on the mountainside emit hydrocarbons that, when seen from a distance, huddle over the mountains in a haze of blue. When you are in the mountains, and not just beholding their hazy edges from afar, things are more vivid. Up close, each tree communes with well-defined and tangible edges. In the mountains, among the vivid trees, each day for a few days, I took folks out for a saunter on the trails. This was the third year in a row that I have traveled south to North Carolina to help shape the Discovering Renewal retreat. The first time I guided hikes for Discovering Renewal, I landed at Montreat a few days early. I had scouted the trails as best I could on some digital maps, but I hadn't done much actual walking on the trails, which felt important to actually do before taking actual people for actual walks. So I traipsed around the trail solo for a few days, took lots of notes, came up with a route or two that would work for a big group full of folks with different abilities and needs. Then I awaited their arrival, and I dove on in. Last year, when I returned, I went a couple of days early and reacquainted myself with the trails and with my trail liturgy before guiding the retreat. For every trip, retreat, workshop, course, or talk that I offer, I make some sort of liturgical flow to ground us and guide us through the experience. The liturgy tends to originate in my mind and notebook. Then, with a walk, I massage it into my heart. Usually, the liturgy is a variation or a collection of variations on a simple thematic spiritual progression: wrestle, rest, return. Sometimes I share the liturgy out loud, and sometimes I just use it as a quiet compass to keep me oriented in the work of facilitation. But always, one way or another, I put the liturgy into practice by extending it to the group. They embody it. Usually, there are as many ways to embody the liturgy as there are bodies engaged in it. By taking what I offer and embodying it, they transform the liturgy from something with hazy hues to something with sharp edges, from an imagined vision to a lived encounter. This is like what happens at church or any community of spiritual practice. When those who gather begin to embrace a string of stories, symbols, and songs with their voices, postures, emotions, and actions, worship takes place. The hazy hues of the divine come into focus through the expressions of practitioners. This year, when I got back to Montreat, I felt familiar enough with the trails to not need a review. But I still flew in a day early and took to the streams to commune with the trout. I caught only nibbles and the branches of trees leaning over the stream above me, and the undersides of rocks, and the radical understanding that no matter how many times you step into it, you never step in the same river twice. Speaking of, I'll be back again, and I suppose for the first time, after Easter next year. If you're keen to join in, let me know. P.S. Beginning next month, as part of my rigorous training with the Academy for Coaching Excellence, I will be taking on new clients who are in need of coaching. If you are developing a liturgy or outline or concept or plan of action for any sort of creative project, and you could use some support to see it through, touch base with me. I'd love to connect and see if what I have to offer can help you bring into focus what you have to offer.